Hello everyone, welcome back. It's Sean from taekwondoshan.com, and today we're diving into our old pal, Taeguek Pal Jang, Poomsae number 8. Check it out. What's new in Poomsae number 8? This. So Poomsae number 8 is the longest taegeuk Poomsae, okay, the most advanced. It has 27 motions, so we're going to break it up into groups of 5. 4 groups of 5 and 1 group of 7, equaling 27. Now, during this Poomsae, we want to make sure that we try to stay on the same line going forward and back. It's very easy to get lost in this Poomsae and start somewhere like, say, here, and then finish somewhere like back here. So it's very important during this Poomsae that all of our stances are the same size. So front stance going forward is the same as front stance going backwards, and then side and side. Make sure the back stance, front stance all match. The tiger stance all match. So let's take a look at part 1, the first 5 motions. All right, let's do it together. 준비. So 1, supporting fist block. 2, 3, double front kick. Aya! Middle block, punch, punch. 4, punch. 5, turn, block. All right, so the first 5 motions, there's 2 things that strike the person that's starting this Poomsae for the first time. That would be the double front kick that we haven't seen in Poomsae before, and then also the waist hentar maki, which is the half mountain stance block that we also haven't seen before. So let's break those 2 things down. So the double front kick, unlike doing demonstration style where we only drive one knee up and then kick, this double front kick has 2 actual attacks. So you're striking the lower abdomen and then right away jumping and going for more of the face. Now, you want to make it smooth so you're leaving the ground as you do the first kick. Instead of kick, pause, jump kick. So what you're going to do is as you're coming up, you're going to focus on getting back to this point, the recoil point, as you jump, so you can make it smooth on the way up. All right, so from here, sort of like that. So you're driving the first leg to the recoil point, that's the focus, and then the second one can come out as you're in midair. Now, as you're landing, it's very important that you keep this foot, the ball of your foot, off the ground until you're ready to perform the middle block. So from here, middle block, punch, punch. So as soon as this foot hits the ground, you're finishing the middle block and then executing the duge jirigi, or the double punch. An addendum for the waist hentar maki, the front stance. We've talked about it before, making sure our stances are not thin. Actually, this is actually an exception to the rule. When you do your waist hentar maki, your front stance can actually be quite narrow. And then as you pivot for the uppercut motion, you guys are actually able to open it up to be shoulder width apart. Okay, and then the other side, I'm in my waist hentar maki here, and then pivot. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. From the side, I'm on this line here, block, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Noticing that, of course, I'm now outside the line. Another addendum to the 2-fist block, we want to make sure that it's not actually touching your body here. So the first motion of the Poomsae, 2-fist block like this, you want to make sure your armpits are closed as they can be. This elbow is pointing down, this wrist is straight, and then when you go for the punch, make sure you don't punch from the chest area. Always come back to your belt here and then punch like this. So from here, 1, 2. From the other side, 1, 2. Now remember, in a real fight, in a practical situation, punching from here would be all right. But we want good habits here. We want to always be punching from the same spot because we're practicing well to have the proper technique, and then we can choose in a practical situation whether or not we go to the belt or start from somewhere else, but at least we know how to do it properly. Now, santarumaki means mountain block. Now, it's actually the Chinese character for mountain, if you can kind of see it with my arms and my head. Now from here, waist santarumaki means half mountain block. So in the interest of, expansion and, making sure there's room for more people in the world, you blew up half your mountain. So this is waist santarumaki, half mountain block. You have the upper wrist block over here, and then the lower down block over here. And then you make the front stance so that the leg that's straight matches the arm that's here. It's only 2 fists above the leg, or matching the angle of the leg and the arm. And this has to be eyebrow height if you're going by the fist knuckles, or the wrist has to be your injung, your mustache height. Okay? Make sure for this one, you don't open it up. Make sure it's straight like this, as if you're against the wall and this arm is perpendicular with the ground. All right, now part 2, the next 5 motions, introduces another new thing, the uppercut, and then another waist center maki uppercut, and then things we've seen before. So let's check it out. All right, so in part 2, we're encountering the uppercut for the first time. So from our waist center maki, we turn into a front stance, and then the arm that was down comes up to our chest height in a neutral position, and the arm that was up comes down to the armpit height. And then from here, they come towards each other. Now once they pass each other, we start to twist and make sure this fist is at least your chin height for the uppercut motion, and this fist comes back, not actually touching your shoulder, but very close to the shoulder here. Okay? So we're imagining in this one, we grab the opponent by their clothes and then uppercut them right in the chin here. All right, so from here, but we perform it slowly, so it should take about 5 seconds. Now, the next motion for the transition, make sure you guys step over the other foot. Don't step behind. So step over, and then the waist center maki, turn, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then we see the 2-hand knife block, punch, and part 2 comes to an end. Now part 3, it's nothing really new, but we're actually going to kick with the front leg for the first time in Poomsae. So we're going to be kicking from our tiger stance with actually the leg that has less weight on it, which is actually what tiger stance was designed to do. All right, so let's check it out. From where part 2 ended, we perform our front kick, step back once, twice, tiger stance, bend your knees, and single palm block. Now from here, turn and pivot. Then you kick with your front leg. So you have 10% of your weight on the front leg. From here, drive it up, punch, and block. Other side, same thing, and we'll stop here. So explaining kicking with the front leg, it's very important because we're not shifting our weight, so it's not going to be super strong, that it changes that to be super fast. So its effectiveness doesn't rely on the strength to knock out the opponent, it's the flashiness, the fast motion, which is going to stun them instead. So from here in my tiger stance, my key point is I'm going to drive this knee up as fast as I can, because the closer I can get this knee to my body, the easier it's going to be to kick fast and high. So my tiger stance here, and then step in for the punch. Now the other side, same thing. We're in a tiger stance, drive this knee up, and then step forward. Part 4, we're introduced to another double front kick. So this double front kick has a bit of a delay. So when I'm here in my back stance with my 2 fist assisted down block, I'm going to kick with my back leg first, slight pause, and then jump, kick with the second leg. Aya! Middle block, punch, punch, same as the beginning, except now with the opposite arm. So one more time. Aya! From the side. And then the last 7 motions, part 5, we're going to be doing a kind of like a pattern. It's going to be the single hand knife block, nothing new, an elbow strike, a back fist strike, and a punch. But we're going to do both sides. Okay, so let's do it together. I'm here. I landed my double front kick, middle block, punch, punch. My feet come together, and then apart into my back stance, and then single hand knife block. Make sure the single hand knife block is shoulder height. And then from here, elbow strike, back fist, punch. And then half turn this back leg, full turn the body, and then elbow strike, back fist, punch. And paro. And that's the end of this Poomsae. This Poomsae doesn't end with a ki up, and it is one of the hardest Poomsae, one of the most difficult Poomsae to land in the same spot that you started. But I believe if you guys keep good track of your stances and your back stance, front stance, and the transitioning between them, you can end up relatively within the same square, within the same meter that you started. All right, especially if you're going to compete, it's very important. So that was Poomsae number 8, Taeguek Pal Jang. Actually wasn't as hard, I think, as we thought it was going to be. There were a couple of new motions, and I think the waist center maki will be tricky, but once we get through the Poomsae a couple of times, once you practice, 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 there's nothing stopping you, and you guys are going to do this Poomsae inside and out. All right, so great work. We'll see you in the next video. Train hard. See you on the mats.